OET സ്പീക്കിങ്ങിൽ ഓർക്കേണ്ട കാര്യങ്ങൾ എന്തൊക്കെയാണെന്ന് നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. രണ്ട് തരത്തിലുള്ള റോൾ പ്ലേസ് ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കും എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, ഒരു ഹെൽത്ത് കെയർ പ്രൊഫഷണൽ എങ്ങനെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷനിൽ പെരുമാറണം അതുപോലെ അഭിനയിച്ച് കാണിക്കുന്ന അവസരം. നഴ്സസിനും ഡോക്ടേഴ്സിനും വ്യത്യസ്തമായ വിഷയമാവും ഉണ്ടാവുക. അവരുടെ പ്രൊഫഷനുമായി കണക്ട് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെയാവും ടെക്സ്റ്റ് റോൾ പ്ലേ കാർഡിൽ ഉണ്ടാവുക. ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് എമർജൻസി റൂമിലുള്ള സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആവാം, ഒരു ആക്സിഡൻറ്റ് കേസ് ആവാം, ഇതൊക്കെയാവും കാർഡിൽ ഉണ്ടാവുക. അത് വായിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് പിടികിട്ടും. 2 മുതൽ 3 മിനിറ്റ് വരെ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യാൻ നമുക്ക് സമയമുണ്ട്. 2 റോളും ഇനാക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് അഭിനയിച്ച് കാണിക്കാൻ 5 മിനിറ്റ് വീതം സമയമുണ്ടാവും. അതായത് ഒരു നേഴ്സിൻ്റെ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ നേഴ്സ് ഒരു എമർജൻസി റൂമിൽ എങ്ങനെ പെരുമാറുന്നോ ആ രീതിയിൽ ഒരു പേഷ്യൻറ്റിനോട് എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും സംസാരിക്കുക, അവരെ കംഫർട്ട് ചെയ്യുക, ഇതൊക്കെയായിരിക്കും അവിടെ നോക്കുക അസസ്മെൻറ്റിൽ. അതേപോലെ തന്നെ ഒരു ഡോക്ടറും രോഗിയുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഇൻറ്ററാക്ഷൻ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ രോഗിക്ക് സംസാരിക്കാൻ പറ്റാത്ത അവസ്ഥയാണെങ്കിൽ ആ രോഗിയുടെ ബൈസ്റ്റാൻഡറുമായിട്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കൂടെ വന്ന ആളുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഇൻറ്ററാക്ഷൻ ആയിരിക്കും അവിടെ സ്പീക്കിങ്ങിൽ വിലയിരുത്തുക. Let's try to get the best out of ourselves and score the highest mark in speaking. Here is a sample role play card for you, and this is more pertinent for a doctor or a healthcare practitioner. My tip here for you would be to look at initial verbs and follow through verbs appearing throughout the text where action is suggested. This would help you sequence your conversation and at the same time visualize the scenario. Looking at verbs, sequencing them and simultaneously visualizing the context would help you deliver an impressive speaking session. The interlocutor would play the role of a patient, quite connected to the context you would be presented with in both role plays, that is role play 1 and 2. Here is another role play card for you, more relevant for a nurse. Remember to ask relevant questions as a form of inquiring, and at the same time you need to advise. This would evoke responses from the interlocutor who play the role of a patient or the patient's bystander. Remember that this relates to a real situation in life, and be your natural self in providing reassurance to the patient while attending to the case. You could be a doctor or a nurse and you're already practicing, so just be yourself. Here is my tip for you when it comes to speaking. Number 1, read the role play card and absorb. Read what is in the card and paraphrase them, which means you need to rephrase a sentence without losing the essence of the context, and accordingly construct a meaningful question or a piece of advice meant for the patient or the bystander. In this case, it's going to be the interlocutor who is going to play that role and engage you in a conversation. Number 2, speak and listen. Maintain the conversation and pause to listen at times. You should be a good listener. Be assertive at the same time whenever you need to be letting the patient or bystander know that you are in charge. Third, reflect and respond and be to the point. Do not beat around the bush. Be cognizant of the emotional situation. The patient could be distracted, the patient could be disoriented. So you are in charge, you are the solution provider. So you need to stay composed. And number 4, always give reassurance. As a healthcare professional, you need to bear in mind the fact that you are the solution provider. If you need help in situations dealing with difficult or frustrated patients, I am here to help you. Please reach out to me over phone or use the comment box below. Now let's get into the scoring part. You could be presented with a difficult situation, like say for example a patient coming to you in an inebriated state. That means the patient is under the influence of alcohol, has suffered a broken arm but keeps asking for his mobile phone. I know I'm in charge as a doctor or a nurse, and I need to stick to the context or the text in the role play card. So read and absorb, speak and listen, reflect and respond, and provide reassurance. That is the mode or strategy you're going to follow. So if I were to come up with questions or reassurance or sentences that will have an overtone of reassurance, these are the ones. How are you feeling now? That's more of inquiring to the patient or the bystander. Don't worry, you're going to be all right. That sounds reassuring. Do you remember anything about the accident? Or you could even ask, could you tell me what exactly had happened? That's inquiring about the accident. Let's check your vital signs first. Here I am being assertive, maintaining communication with the patient who is distracted, in lots of pain, and also searching for his lost mobile phone. Don't worry about your phone, we are going to find it out. But first I need to make sure you're all right. Here, with a sympathetic tone, I'm reassuring the patient, and at the same time I'm also being assertive. When it comes to speaking, remember you are assessed on 5 aspects or criteria. Number 1, effective communication. Initiate the conversation because you are in charge. Maintain the conversation. Listen to your conversational counterpart very carefully and ask open questions whenever you have the opportunity. Be prepared to respond to anything that's going to come out of the blue unexpectedly, and ensure you follow a logical sequence which would account for coherence in conversation. So the coherence part is very important, and that's going to be checked for. Number 2, ease of understanding. Being a healthcare practitioner, your knowledge would come handy here, and you should be able to quickly decode the situation and take in charge of it. So your readiness in dealing with the situation and putting your thoughts into action would definitely be reflective, or is going to surface when it comes to evaluating point number 2. Number 3 is fluency. Your confidence, your pace, the pace at which you're going to speak, your accent will all contribute. Number 4, using appropriate language. You need to sound as a thorough professional. I'm sure you already are. Manage your own emotions and the emotions of others. In this case, it could be a patient or a bystander, or an irate person who's come along. You're attending to. Be flexible, and at the same time be assertive and also show support. Number 5, grammar and vocabulary. Try to avoid syntax errors. These are sentence construction errors. Use the right prepositions, use the right conjunctions, the modal verbs, tenses, while constructing sentences during a conversation. Avoid repetitions while beginning a sentence. All right then, got questions? Ask me right away. Call in English, Hindi, Tamil, or Malayalam. Good luck. See you later. Bye-bye.